Hello, all you rascals. It's me, Jeremiah, and this is the first podcast episode of Football Podcast. Oh, actually, excuse me, it's like the fourth, but let's get on to the real news today. My name is Jeremiah, and we gotta get started with something really important. It's about the Seattle Seahawks going to draft this year. A lot of people were talking about Russell Wilson getting traded. I never really believed it because, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have a combined winning seasons of literally every season they've both been here, which is now officially 9, and they have 8 trips to the playoffs. So we've got that on our side. Shane Waldron was hired as new offensive coordinator. That's always a really good thing for a Seattle Seahawks organization that has had a few issues with the offense last season, had a lot of people figure out their offense in the second half of the season, kept them from getting those big numbers. Now we have someone from the Sean McVay system that a lot of people say has the skills. Russell Wilson likes him. Best one out of the picks that they were able to get up for offensive coordinator. They really looked for everything, everyone under the sun, and they decided on Shane Waldron, a new spunky fellow that Russell Wilson can help shape a new brand of offense for the Seattle Seahawks. Second, you got to be talking about the fact that Carlos Dunlap is back, including DJ Reed. You got Marquise Blair coming back from injury. You got Ugo Amadi. You've got Poona Ford, who had a really nice season last season. You have the new guy Kyler Fuller, I think is what his name is. Kyle Full, something like that. You've got Marquise. You got that our pass rush guys, which include those all, and the one guy off the edge, I keep forgetting his name. But they are all amazing, and they are all coming back. The defense was, of course, top 5 in sacks in the last half of the season, which is the defense was top 5 in sacks the last half of the season, which is really good for the Seahawks because you want to bring that back to your team. The safety tandem, I think, is amazing. You got another year of Jamal Adams. You got another year of Hunter Dickinson. You got a lot of depth with Ugo Amadi, and you got Marquise Blair again. Your corners, you got DJ Reed, who had an amazing season last year, and who can really build on some of that with Pete Carroll a second stint. You've got our new guy, Witherspoon, who probably will come to the Pete Carroll system and learn a lot, and maybe he'll even become a really decent corner. We probably still need like one other corner, maybe a draft pick or something. The offensive line, well, Russell Wilson is amazing, but we do want a slightly better offensive line. That's why we got John Jackson. And that's why we still have Brown. We got Shell, who did really good last season before he got injured. We've got some good backups. We no longer have the injury machine on that right tackle side, on that right guard side. So just to be clear, we have a pretty decent offensive line going into the season, especially with a new offensive system that probably won't be super obvious. And the other thing to remember about the Seattle Seahawks is that we finished 12-4 last season, won the division, the most difficult division in football, and this year will not be any less difficult. I mean, the 49ers, there's no way they'll have as many injuries as they did last season. They'll be a contender. You got the Rams coming back with Sean McVay, even though they lost some guys, and you got the Cardinals, who may not be the greatest team in the world, but they might be enough to get a wild card this year. They were almost enough to get a wild card last year. So, first things first about all the other teams in the league. If you're a Seahawks fan, that's my evaluation of Seahawks. I think they're slightly better than they were last year. I think they have a better coordinator for the offense. I think their defense won't be injured to heck by week 3. And remember, for the defense, we may be losing KJ, but we also have that new linebacker talent in the guy we drafted last year, who had a pretty dang good season. Drafted over Patrick Queen, everybody was freaking out, but he's done an incredible job with the Seattle Seahawks. Let's move on to the other teams really quick. and talk about who I think is some of the best teams based on what's happened during free agency, what happened at the end of last season, going into this season. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go with the Colts. Frank Reich is a great coach. They got Carson Wentz. Everybody talked about how Carson Wentz was bad. I think it might have been partly because of Doug Pearson and that culture in Philadelphia. It's just not that positive. But you never know how well they'll do in this new system. But I think that Frank Reich will make it work. I think that defense is still a top-notch unit. I think the Colts are definitely going to be a contender next year. Next, I would definitely put the Ravens. The Ravens are always up there. The Ravens are always good. I would put the Browns right there too. They're always good. They're always solid, especially with this new guy. They were always solid last year. Excuse me. Before that, they were crap. But last year they got this new guy. They got this new coach who's really made that unit shine. That guy from the Vikings, offensive coordinator. Also in the AFC, I would say the Patriots can probably try to battle for something. I would way more depend on the Bills to be a contender. The Bills are definitely the team to me that seemed the most threatening in that division. Although the Miami Dolphins are coming up, and you never know what's going to happen with them because they have a great top-notch defense. They don't have amazing quarterback talent yet. We'll see what they do in the draft. We'll see if Tua Tagovailoa can get that extra bit of what's it called, lift in his quarterback abilities, and going into year 2, that's certainly possible because that's what happened to Josh Allen year 2, year 3. You never know what happens. And the Jets are a complete mess. I don't know if that defensive coordinator from the 49ers can fix that mess of a team. We'll see. A lot of people have tried. It's failed a lot. You never know. It's the Jets. Going on to other teams in that entire AFC East. Steelers. I don't believe in the Steelers. I don't believe in them in the postseason. They can win a bunch of regular season games. They can probably win against us in week 17, but I don't believe in them in the postseason. Week 18, because we have like 17 weeks for some weird reason. Now, of course, let's talk about the Chiefs division. The Chiefs are great. The Chargers might be better. You never know. I don't know. I literally have no idea. The Oakland Raiders should be a wild card contender, but they should have been wild card contender 2 years in a row. They just kind of haven't for some reason. Like, I keep going like, why aren't the Raiders in the playoffs? They just kind of find a way not to be. Then you have, of course, you got so many great teams. You got so many great teams in that mess of a division that literally the Colts are the only good team, and Tennessee's amazing. Derrick Henry is going to go out. He's going to ball. You got Ryan Tannehill that might be again an MVP contender for the year. But yeah, that's basically what I think about the AFC. If you all have any questions about the AFC, if you guys want to have me cover anything about the AFC, tell me, because that's not what I'm focused on that much. That's why I decided to go through them first. Second of all, the NFC. What do we talk about the NFC? We got the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees. I do not think they're going to be anything more than an 800 team, especially in the same division as those pesky Buccaneers, because the Buccaneers are the contender in the NFC. I'm telling you right now, AFC, it's like Chiefs, Colts, and I guess everyone else. I mean, Tennessee could, Baltimore could, the Browns could come back and make a really good season. I guess the Bills too. You could put them in the conversation, but really, I would say it's between the Chiefs and the Colts. In the NFC, you've got the Bucks, and here's the thing: is that the Bucks aren't impervious. The Bucks can lose to the Rams, because the Rams have a lot of things the Bucks struggle with. They can lose to the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have Russell and Pete, some of the best old-fashioned coaches in the league. And after that, I mean, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to beat Tom Brady? Ever? Do you think he's ever going to beat Tom? I don't think so. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is ever going to beat Tom Brady. I think that as long as Tom Brady is in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers is not going to another Super Bowl. That's what I said before. I'll say it again. Aaron Rodgers will not beat Tom Brady. So the Packers, I think they're a danger to us because we have to go there this season, and I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, if the offense is so good and the defense is working like I think it's going to be, which is a top 3 unit, and I think that the offense is going to be a top 10 unit, then sure, why not? Maybe we'll be able to go to the playoffs and beat Green Bay twice, and Green Bay or some weird astronomical weirdness. But until then, I see it. Green Bay is the biggest competitor to the Seahawks. They are not a challenge for the Bucks or if the 49ers are healthy, the 49ers. Um, so we got those. The Vikings suck. They're okay. They're not good enough to go to the playoffs. They're fine, I guess. They kind of suck though. The Bears, they tried to get Russell Wilson. It did not work out for them. I bet John Schneider would have taken it if they would have been like, okay, well here's our whole defense. Here's a good chunk of our best offensive players, and we'll give you and we'll somehow find a way to get the first pick. Then the Seahawks are gonna be like, okay, we'll take you up on that, because they would just be able to front load the team and make a competitive team for like 4 years if they really if they gave him that much capital. And Russell Wilson couldn't win there, so why would he want to go at that point? The Bears are ridiculous. I am. They got that new quarterback. They got that guy. Um, Andy Dalton was this like his fourth string out to quarterbacking. Well, good luck with that guy. Other notable things about that entire NFC: Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, watch out. NFC West is hard to beat. Seattle, watch out. You're going to have to be spectacular again this season, or else you're going to fall victim to one of these three really itching, nail and biting teams that are just waiting to win that division. And I'm talking with like 12, 13 wins. There's going to be I don't think there's going to be an 11 win team in the NFC West for the next 5 years. Let's move on to the next part of this, and that's the fact the Panthers are good. They're not great. Their quarterback signing continues to say that. I mean, Sam Darnold could be great. Could be. You never know. He's got a real coach now. He doesn't have a guy that's, honestly, I think one of the worst head coaches we've ever seen. Frustrates the heck out of me. So we'll just see how that goes. I mean, Matthew Stafford to the Rams. That's a free agent move. That's really crazy. I think that the Rams are going to take that and use it as an advantage. I would go ahead and say, as a final statement kind of gist to end this episode, you've got to think what's going to happen in the draft, who's going to succeed, who's going to fail in the draft and in training camp, and all the different things come into effect, especially with the same kind of COVID procedures at this time. And of course, remember to say, go Hawks. Okay, everybody. As always, like and subscribe. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, of course, I'm going to say it twice because it's important. Subscribe to our channel. It's amazing. It's great. It's got the football. It's got a gay series with me and my partner. It's got it's got a movie review series coming out soon. We've got Thursday hangouts that happen pretty much every week. Sometimes we can't do it, but most of the time it happens every single week. And of course, we're always looking for new people to help us make great content. As part of today's stories, thank you all for watching. If you're interested in today's stories, of course, go to our website. If you want to subscribe. If you want to sign up to our Instagram, go to our Instagram. Do it. Be great. See you all next week on this day. Good night.